Let's read Anne of Green Gables together. Well, you know, as together as we can. So I'm reading Anne of Green Gables for the very first time. I wanted to pick up a classic or 2 or 8 or 20. I wanted to start reading more classics, basically, is what I'm saying here. And the first one that I decided to pick up is Anne of Green Gables. I had to wait forever. Well, not forever. I had to wait a little bit for the library to have it on hold, or to pick it up from the library. So I picked up this copy, which, I mean, it's pretty. It's not pretty, but it's pretty plain. And then the only reason that I didn't go and try to purchase it is because there's just so many covers, and I honestly didn't know if I was going to like it. So I didn't want to purchase it if it wasn't going to be a book that I was going to reread or just like love having it on my shelf. So anyways, I've just started it, and I am only 20 pages in, and I'm going to have to keep a journal with all her beautiful quotes because so far it's just so sweet. It is such a good read for 20 pages, right? Never mind the messy kitchen behind me. Okay, I probably should have checked the light before I started. Sorry, and I just got out of the shower, so excuse. But I wanted to give an update on the book. It is so good. I really like it. I didn't purchase it. I did look it up a couple of times to see, I don't know, when you buy classics or books just in general, you want pretty covers, right? Like you want something nice to look at. Anyways, I am on page 148. I'm just right before starting chapter 20, so I'm finishing off chapter 19. It's still a sweet story. It's still really good. If you haven't watched this, if you haven't read this next bit is a little bit of a spoiler, but my heart was just breaking when I thought her and her sweet friend weren't going to be able to be friends anymore. So I'm past that little point, and here at this point in the story, Anne and Diana have had their slumber party and have awoken the aunt, and Anne is once again apologizing. She's such a sweet girl, and she's such big words, and she's just such a fun character. But also, I have seen the Anne of Green Gables, the comic, that's not going to be right, the graphic novel, and my library doesn't have it in person like the physical book, but it does have, my kiddos are in the next room finishing lunch, so there's probably noise in the background, but they had the digital format, and so I'm kind of thumbing through it, reading it at the same time as I'm reading the book. So it's been fun to I'll read a little bit from the book, and then I'll go back in and read up to what I've read in the graphic novel, because I don't want to finish the graphic novel first and kind of spoil the rest of the book for me. Anyways, that's where I am. I'm going to keep reading. just wanted to stop and jot down another quote. Kindred spirits are not so scarce as I used to think. It's splendid to find out there are so many of them in the world. I just love this book. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. My kids are right next to me. They're playing some kind of game they made up. So we're just gonna hang out for a little bit. And it's technically our Fun Friday, so we're gonna hang out. I'm giving the TV a break though. And then we'll do tea time later today also. So that's where we're at. This is how I'm gonna sneak in a little reading time. Go ahead. I thought you already had a So I'm still reading, but I don't have very much left in it. And I realized that I have to, I wanted to read this for part of the readathon that doesn't technically start until Monday. Is it Monday? Yes, it doesn't start until Monday, and today is Friday, so I have to stop myself because I know if I pick it up again this weekend, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it, and I really wanted to read this for the readathon and have it kind of count. I thought it would take me a lot longer to read it, so that's why I started it beforehand. So I'm going to take a break, sadly, because I really just do want to finish it, but, you know, readathon and all that, so... But I am really, really enjoying it, and I do think this is going to be one of the books for sure I want to get for my collection. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to start another book that is also for a readathon. I'm going to start The School The School for Good and Evil. This one looks a little thick, so I'm going to go ahead and start this one too because it is for the readathon, and I think it'll take me some time to finish it up. So I'll start that instead, and I'll be reading that until I can come back to Anne and finish that up on Monday. Okay, it is Monday, so the official start of the readathon, and it's not actually that early. My kids are just sleeping in a little bit later, except for my youngest who is up. So I'm going to let him watch a little bit of TV. We're just going to have a slow start to our Monday. I brought my coffee up here. So I'm going to have my coffee, and then I'm going to finish the book, and I'm so excited. I really like this book. So far, I'm almost done. I don't know if I'll get to finish it this morning, like right now, but I am going to finish this today. So I'm going to dig in and start reading and see how far I get it. Just finished reading this. It was so good. So before I read it, I kind of went back and forth if it was something that I had wanted to purchase or just borrow from the library. But I went ahead and found a copy at the library, clearly, this that I've been reading, and I want this book now. I definitely want this for our collection. I want to read the next in the series. I am so very glad it is a series because I don't have to say goodbye to Anne quite yet. There is some, if you've never read it, the end is some powerful stuff, a little sad, but the way it just wraps it all up was so beautiful, and it just so good. So good. I thought this is such a great book, such a great read. Like I said, I'm going to add it to our collection. I have my sticky note here full of quotes that I want to add. I definitely want to add in the, I think it's like the second to last line. It brought me to tears. If you've not read the book, this video is probably full of spoilers. So is this. God's in heaven. God's in his heaven. All's right with the world, whispered Anne softly. And I just... my kids were like, "Are you okay, Mom?" It was so good. So I'm going to add that to my quotes. And actually, we're off to the library because there is another series that I am reading. I'm reading the School for Good and Evil. So I just wrapped this one up too. But I'm going to return it to the library in case somebody else wants to borrow it because I'm noticing in the next the next in this series is the number 2 book is checked out. I put number 3 on hold because I ended up reading number 2 on my phone. I checked it out as an ebook from the library. Back to Anne, though, I'm going to look for the next book of this as well, and then this will be something that I look to purchase sometime in the future, because we have purchased a couple of books, and I need to rein in that budget before I get too out of control. Anyways, I just want to say, if you've not read this book, this is a great classic. This is something that I think would make a good, for me, I'm just kind of diving into dipping my toes in reading classics. I think that this would be a fantastic first one. I absolutely loved it. This is a book that I cannot wait to read with my daughter when she gets a little bit older. Right now, I don't think it would hold her attention yet. She's not quite into this level of book yet, but I cannot wait to share this with her, and I just thought it was so good. Have you read the book? Do you love it as much? It was just such a good read. I'm so glad that I did it. So I'm off to the library. I'm going to go ahead and see if they have the next book in the series. I think it is it Anne of Avonlea? I'm probably saying that wrong. Anyways, I'm going to go see what they have. Thank you so much for sharing this book with me, coming alongside and reading it with me. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Did you not? If you didn't, why not? If you had some favorite quotes, share them with me down below in the comments. And again, thank you so much for coming alongside and watching the video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, maybe consider subscribing and joining our little YouTube family. Thanks again.